Good morning, everyone, and I am Lori Lamantia, and I'm here with the beautiful Trisha Fisk. Sorry.
Good morning.
And today our topic is creating heaven on earth. And we wanted to, because there's so much chaos going on out there, if you're listening to us, you're part of a cadre, I'm guessing, that is here to hold sacred divine space in the middle of all the chaos. I remember one time I was meditating and I got, because I was asking, what's my purpose on earth? Why am I here? And I heard, you're part of the Heaven on Earth project. And I'm like, what? How's that? And it really got me, it kind of put me on this journey. It was quite a few years ago that came in. And and over the course of time, I've learned and I've been exploring what that means. But in a nutshell, it is holding your divine space and not giving in to all the illusions and chaos and fears and worries that the duality of earth, that the heaven piece that we come from, that is all of us, has it doesn't operate the way we do on earth. It doesn't quote unquote think the way we do. And so in these times where we are in the middle of tremendous change, holding that divine, sacred, holy place is one of our great gifts and one of our great tasks, for lack of a better word right now, that is is we are asking of ourselves. I'm not saying it's being asked of somebody outside of us. It's a thing that we gave ourselves when we decided to come here at this time. Trish, and I'm going to turn it over to you and let you put in your intro about this.
I would say same thing. It is, and maybe sometimes when there is so much chaos going on outside, it feels like a little more work than usual.
Mm.
But it is, um, I feel lately like a sense of responsibility, and not in a negative way or a heavy way, but just a sense of responsibility to be more open about my my spiritual connection and my beliefs that we are already spiritual beings who just forgot. I mean, everything that it says in the Yoga Sutras, that we are these amazing creatures, we are divine, we've forgotten, and it's our work on earth, if you will, to remember again. And so I'm just finding, and particularly, like I said, right now, how this sense of responsibility to be open about the fact that we are creating heaven on earth when we allow ourselves to expand in that space, experience it, share it. And I find the more I allow myself to open up and share these beliefs and talk to people about it, the more I come in contact with like-minded people who are
Right.
actually happy to talk about this stuff.
Actually need to talk about it, want to
Right.
talk about it, because
Yes.
that's part of their journey too in pulling in heaven on earth.
Right.
We're the front runners, let's say, the people, us having these conversations, us listening, us on the spiritual path. But as you were talking, I kept getting the feeling all the prep that we've been doing our whole lives is for now. It's not anymore seeking. It's not anymore figuring. It's not anymore one more class, one more yoga thing, one more sutra. It's now. You know,
Mm-hmm.
all the prep is for not someday, but
But
now.
now,
And
right.
owning it, stepping into it, and having the courage to say, I am. I am, and I know that I am, and I'm willing to hold that space and radiate. and be the love, be the divine, be heaven on earth, not give in to the fears. Now is the time. And it's hard. And I know, and so when you were saying that, I was like, I just felt it bubbling. Like, we don't have any more time to fuck around. It's time
Right.
now.
Yeah.
Sorry for this
No, but
very.
it's but it is true. Now is the time to not speak up now. I think is would be a terrible mistake.
And to not hold your space and and not give and to give in to, and I get it, it's okay, don't feel bad if you're giving into the fear or the worry, but we know how to regroup
Right.
and
Right.
regroup quickly. And there's no judgment around if whatever. And whatever you decide to do as part, even you just being here is holding space. But a consciousness, a consciousness that you are, that's that I think is taking it to the next level.
Right. Right. And it expands. I mean, when we hold that space, we are expanding it outside of us. It isn't just me
Right. And
by
even though you're
myself.
doing it on your couch, it matters.
It's right. It does. Yes.
And so, when I was thinking about today, I was thinking, well, if I were listening, I'd be like, well, what is this heaven on earth thing? What are you talking about, Laura? It really, because I know heaven, we've talked about this before, words, it's something out there. It's where you go when you're gone. And I really believe in my heart that when we came here, heaven, it can, we can have Eden right here on earth. It's a playground for a divine being to experience tangibility. It's a true playground. And if we bring our divine selves here, we don't give into the fear, or at least we start to realize when we are, and we realize love. We come from love. We are love. It's an energy, but it's a consciousness, and even the word love kind of, but there's no judgment then. The judgment about right and wrong, good and bad evaporates. The idea that you're separate from from the divinity, that evaporates. The idea that there's conditionality or limitation, that all starts to melt away in the divine, and when you remember your divinity, and when you start to I'll call it download, but bring that down into this 3D experience. that's that's like, it's like being an astronaut. We are heavenly astronauts here, learning how to walk and talk and do divinity in the 3D world. And a lot of our preparations are about that. And now it's about conscious choice to bring that forward. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. It does.
And so, anytime we give into a limitation or an idea of separation, or that, there's something out there judging us if we're good or bad, all those ideas are earth ideas. Those are not heaven ideas.
Right. Because those are all duality based.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. And health idea and heaven ideas, and I call them and th those ideas come from, when I learned about them, from conversations with God. In conversations with God or divinity was very clear that all those illusions are things you guys agree to on earth. Those aren't the way it is in the divine realms. In the divine realms, there's no separation, there's no judgment. You're totally worthy because you're a divine being. These concepts don't even exist in the divine realms, in that highest plane. The idea of conditionality or sacrifice or scarcity. Again, those are all illusions. Those are not quote unquote heaven or divine. That something outside of you is judging you or can keep anything from you. And and I know that sounds like, Lori, you're kind of gone off the rails, but that's why I think it's important to think about how does divinity see things? And it doesn't see things, and it doesn't use our the conditions that we've come to agree to as humans. Um,
Right. Well, and ask yourself how do you view the world when you're in a space of, say, meditation? You
right,
don't, right. You're in a space where your consciousness and awareness is expanding outside your own physical self and
right,
connecting to
right. The
this,
thing that was
right.
always there anyway that you,
Right, right.
right. Yes,
Right. And that's why we so often refer to it as building a muscle. The more you go there, the more you go to that place, the more it stays around you. Your awareness of that space stays with you more often, or the ability to jump back to it as
right,
soon as you notice, oh, I'm back in that my life sucks place. Let's get back to
right,
I am divine.
right.
And it,
Yeah.
right.
Yes, well said. That is in a nutshell. When we're holding that divine place, that heaven, it is who we truly are. That's who we
Mm-hmm.
truly are. And it's
Right.
this earth game where we forget and we get scared. Uh, and so and I wanted to say we're creating it, but we're remembering it is really what's I think I feel like is important right now is not to forget that heaven is what we are, where we are, and what we're doing here. And earth is an evolution
And
into
the
that.
more, yes, and the more we spend time and energy in that place, the more we're connecting with other people who are doing the same thing.
Right. And it's creating a network, an
Yes,
interconnectedness. And that,
yes,
when enough of those network pieces click, now you've got a tapestry and the weaving will happen faster and faster and faster. That's why things are going so fast right now, because we have hit critical mass. It's hard to believe, but we've hit critical mass and the momentum is there. It's again, there's enough links in the tapestry, they've connected. The pathways are developed and developing. We're just not we're I felt like we're in the middle of a global rebalance. For people who have 401ks, sometimes you can hit rebalance, it just wants to rebalance. And I was like, oh man, we're just in the middle of a global 401k rebalance, and it's weird and it's maybe uncomfortable, but what if the network is in place and this is exactly what needs to happen?
right. And it's our responsibility. And again, forgive me if you have a hard time with the word responsibility and if that feels heavy to you, but to be a part of it, to jump into it, to share.
Right, to live in your heart. And who
Yes,
knows how you're called to do that. My
right.
friend sent me these signs from they did a march over the weekend in Chicago, and I love those signs. I love people's creativity. They're out there, now you've made grandma mad, I just love these signs and they're so brilliant. And everybody, you can say something without being mean. You can say,
Yes,
grandma's mad. You don't want to piss grandma off. I love that. And so, if you're called to do that, that's beautiful. But remembering that heaven is here. It's not out there. It's here. And our quote unquote work or job is holding that divine, beautiful, sacred space. And
yes,
then whatever comes, comes.
right.
But remember,
Whatever,
yeah,
yeah, whatever message you get about opening to that, sharing it, or whatever, yeah, that's your part in this.
right. And you're so needed as a part of that divine tapestry that's creating a love blanket. We need the love blanket right now to snuggle into.
Yes, we do.
And
Yes, we do.
and I totally trust. And this is the thing I love about our yoga community and the world, the global community, that we're all connected by that love, that love power, that it never went away. It can't go away because that's the only thing that's here. That's the only truth. And I know the word love can be uncomfortable too, but wherever you go, whatever word works for you that reminds you
Right,
of that cradled love, safe.
right. And find the words that inspire you and are comfortable for you. That's a individual search as well. I know I have a lot of friends who they participate in groups that are more Christian based. So their language is different than yoga language. Their language is more God focused.
Mhm.
And yoga language is not as much, but we're saying the same thing.
I love
We're
that you
saying the
said
same.
Tantra is, what did you say?
Tantra is her
Her.
goddess,
Yeah,
right?
goddess.
Yeah,
Right.
very seldom in Tantra do you see God as him. It's her, right? So yeah, find the language that is comfortable for you, but the ideas, the beliefs are the same. We're talking about the same thing.
Right. Don't let that be another point of fake separation.
Right,
Right.
right.
Let it be that we're all here as part of the Heaven on Earth project. And however, and you're needed, and your uniqueness and your approach is exactly what's needed. It's, they keep saying, I listen to some kind of far out stuff, but almost everyone I listen to, if you're here, you stood in line to be here, you wanted to be here, and you got to come because of maybe thousands of lifetimes where you've been practicing for this divine moment. It's not random that we're here, and it's not random that we are a part of this. It's very purposeful. And us radiating and hold creating or understanding we're a part of downloading our divinity into this earth plane will trans will help move it into that heavenly 3D experience
Right.
that we all want. We all know is possible. And we are all like cheering for on some deep level, I think.
I believe so. Yes. Who doesn't want that?
Right, right. It makes perfect sense. And then, you know, it is Eden. I just keep whenever I go into sometimes not all the time, but sometimes I just see, these masses of people going back into Eden. We walked out, we went for a walkabout or whatever weird thing, and now we're all let's go back to Eden, where it's, you know, and where it's lush and green and beautiful. And we've done the journey. This is the hero's journey. And now we're going back to Eden. We've experienced, we've gone to the bowels of, the hero's journey. And now we're going back and we get the celebration.
Yay.
So
I
don't
want the
give up. Right?
celebration.
Don't give up. We're going. We're
Right.
doing it. And so whenever you feel the fear grab you, give yourself a break and say, "Ooh, yeah, that's just part of the journey." And take yourself as close to back to heaven or back to that sacred place or that divine, whatever comforted place. I bought two stuffed animals over the weekend. Lately, I've just been taken to holding them because they remind me of my pups,
Mhm.
and it puts me in that comforted place. And I think we need some comforting for ourselves now too.
I agree. Yes.
So, is there anything else? I feel like we covered it. I'm sure we could deep dive even farther and farther, but I think that it feels like that. I hope we're getting the clarity between choosing this heaven, divine, holy place versus falling into the fear of the earth place, let's say, what's going on right now.
Yes. No, I think we covered it. I would like to read a short um, poem, and it's from the book For Lovers of God Everywhere. So by Roger Housden, and it's Poems of the Christian Mystics. So again, it has the word God in it.
Hmm,
Um,
hmm.
but
Thank
it's a
you.
yeah. So a case of contradictories, both of them true. There is a God, there is no God. Where is the problem? I'm quite sure that there is a God in the sense that I am sure my love is no illusion. I am quite sure there is no God in the sense that I am sure there is nothing which resembles what I can conceive when I say that word. Simone Weil. So, yeah, go to that place, hang out in that place, heaven on earth, find it for you. Find it for you, because there really are no words that either Lori and I could say, whether they be Christian or Buddhist or yogic or whatever, that can really hold that sense of feeling in space for you. It's unique for all of us. There is no, this is the way kind of a thing, or this is how it feels, or this is how it should be. Find it for yourself.
And I think we all know it. You know, when I hug that stuffed animal, I'm there.
Mm.
It's simple. It's so simple. It's so sweet. It's so complete. But like you said, going back there, returning there and building the muscle of returning there is what we need right now,
Yes.
what we're called to. We are peaceful warriors and our time is now.
That's right. Yes.
Da, 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 da. Hold space, and that will matter. It will matter so much.
Yeah.
Okay. Yay. Okay, everyone. Have
All
a
right.
wonderful week. Hold space. And we send you so much love. And I feel it on the great tapestry.
Swaha.
Waha.